Good afternoon. My name's Richard, and on YouTube I go by Resilient Rich just because it takes resilience to stay on the straight and narrow path that leads to eternal life, man, and it takes more and more resilience. It seems like every day, dude. Especially depending on your life and what you do, man. Like, if you have an opportunity to where, like, you don't have to be out in the real world, like, you're set up to where you don't really have to have a job, and you can just, like, your home is paid for, you don't have a whole lot of bills, and you can stay at home or whatever. Not like be a, what's it called? And of course, gotta reset. Not be a hermit, but you know, you just don't have to come out unless you want to, like, in society. Sorry, sometimes if I hit a bump, it'll jar my transmission, so I have to reset it. But, and to do that, you gotta turn the batteries off, and the switches are down here. But yeah, if you have a job, or if you're in a spot in life to where, like, you don't have to work, man, it can be easier, but I don't have that privilege, dude. And that's not a complaint. Like, I like to work, man. I'm still pretty young. Like, I don't mind working. It's the people that you have to be around, man. Like, and I'm not saying that out of judgment or out of, like, holier than thou. And if you're targeted, you'll get it, dude. Especially if you're targeted and you have to work. It's been insane, man. Like, the lengths they will go to, dude. There's been like 10 things just today, man. Every time I load, every time I pull into location, every time I go to loadout, it's something, dude. And they always want to keep me with the same people. And I know this because they'll do things to, like, try and hold me up until another truck's there. Like this Purple Peterbilt that was always doing it last time I worked here, or hauled for these guys. They'll just, you know, like, say, oh, the frack's down because of chemical issues. And then as soon as this truck pulls up, guess what? Or one of these gang stalker trucks, guess what? Frack's open. Or I'll go to loadout, and every load is a split load for me, meaning, like, it takes longer. Long story short. Well, I'll go to loadout. It's, you know, they'll act like it's a split load and then take their extra time moving equipment. And then what do you know? One of the gang stalker semis pulls up and I'm loading. Like, they try and keep me with a certain group of people, man. And it's so obvious, and it gets annoying, dude. Like, I'm doing good at staying positive and being unbothered and things like that, but it just gets tiring, dude. The same, like, over and over, same thing, different day type thing, you know? But I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about just the importance of truly, like, respecting yourself, man, and loving yourself. And the best way, the only way I've been able to do that is through God, man. But even that comes with its challenges, because you know, it brings a certain aura about you. Like, it levels you up in life, like your spiritual, whatever, like your vibration, your aura. When you come to love yourself, you radiate more fruits. And if you're, like, nourishing your relationship with God, you radiate even more good fruits of the Holy Spirit. And it just, people can see this, man, and then they take it as, like, being prideful, and they don't like it, dude. And, like, people want to see you down. Like, that is their goal, man. That it is their goal to see you just miserable. And I've explained a little bit about this before. They want you like that. Because like I said, man, there are a lot more witches and warlocks and people on the spiritual side than you have any idea about, than I have any idea about, that we work with, that they're everywhere, dude. It's huge. Look at, like, the New Age, Wicca, things like that. It's growing at an insane level. And Wicca is, like, right under witchcraft. It's the beginning stages of witchcraft. So people can sense this, dude. And if your vibration is down and you're always walking around depressed and mopey and your aura's just low, it's easier for them to gain access to you spiritually, man. And that is a fact. Like that, it's true, dude. And all this was sci-fi to me, dude, before I started learning about things like this, man. And I'm grateful I have. And as I'm learning, I'm going to talk about what I'm learning. Like I said, I'm not on here for a popularity contest. I'm not on here to become some star and I'm not even on here for money, dude. I'm on here to share my experience through exposing the darkness I've went through and to help other people, man. That's why. Like, I've had people tell me, like, talk about things that are more, like, of the world and then put your spiritual twist on it. Like, if I'm prompted to, I will, but I'm not going to go a certain way just, like, for views. You know what I mean? Now, if I have someone that's been on for a while and I feel that they've been supportive and they ask me to do something, then yeah, I probably will. That's different. You know, but doing things strictly for clout, I'm good. And that's why, like, I'm not ashamed to talk about this kind of stuff, man. And the more people that realize it, dude, the better. And to really love yourself, dude, and respect yourself and feel that internal peace and happiness, man. It takes you having to change certain things in your life, because if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, or is wrong, it's gonna add to you not loving yourself. You know what I mean? And it's gonna just take it down a notch. Take that self-love and that self-care, it's gonna bring it down a level. And people will look, they'll get used to we're not even used to. The only you that a lot of people have ever known is the one that didn't love yourself. You know what I mean? That even in, like, relationships, dude, like, I look back and, like, I used to have the mindset of, like, the manly thing to do is to do everything I can to make this family work, and just so our family's together and our kids can have the mom and dad together in the same home. Like, I got to do everything. So it would lead me to do things like beg for my ex to come back if we had a little fight and she left, or things like that. Like, it puts you on a different level, man, and people take advantage of that, dude. So then when you get to a point to where you're starting to work on yourself, and through starting to work on yourself, you develop that self-respect and that self-love, and you start to learn things and realize things like, dude, you should not ever beg anyone to be in your life. Like, if they want to be in your life and you want someone like them in their life, great. But if not, great too. You know, like, in that, it comes with an aura. Like, your aura changes about you, dude. People can sense it, and they don't like it because they take it as, dude, what's his problem? They take it as like a bad thing that you've changed and you've learned to respect yourself and love yourself, because a lot of people take it as you being prideful or cocky or arrogant. Like, all those go together, you know what I mean? To where really, that's not it at all, man. Your self-love and your self-respect brought boundaries that you were able to establish. And as you've been doing this, you've been learning from other people too. You've been watching things that help you grow and learning lessons. So then you learn even more about like who you don't want around. You learned about, you know, like for instance, me, you could learn about things like narcissism, things you had no idea about, dude. And then you look back and you realize the narcissism that was in your life, dude. And you realize how many people in this world are narcissists. So it makes you even more hesitant to let people in, to trust people, to find people that you would give the trust to even establish any sort of relationship. And all you're doing in your head is trying to keep yourself healthy and positive and vibrant. You know what I mean? But people, like society doesn't look at it that way. They look at it as you think you're too good for everyone, and when that's not the case at all, dude. And I'm telling you, living a life waking up in the morning and actually loving yourself and having that self-respect is an amazing feeling, dude. And like, people will try and steal that from you. I promise you, dude, it's real. The spiritual realm is so real, dude, and people can sense this. And they can sense who you are, and they will try and swap it with you, dude. And like, they could have way more money than you, a way better life, but they're still jealous of you, dude. And they'll want to steal your life. Like, steal you. I'm serious. So what they'll do is they'll go out and do things like smear campaigns, completely assassinate your character, telling people that you're this horrible person, dude, and painting this picture of who they really are about you to the people that they want to, man. So, because they're trying to make people look at them like they looked at you. Because when you're a follower of Christ, or even if you're an empath, if you're just a genuinely good person, dude, people can see that and they like that about you. Like, you know, at least a lot of people used to. So people want that, especially if they're like doing business a lot and stuff like that. So this all goes back to like witchcraft and things like that. So to help them like steal your energy, steal the gifts that God has graciously blessed you with, they will reverse things, dude, and paint you out to be this negative character, feeding off of your energy, trying to steal your destiny in a way, dude. And like I said, trying to get people to look at them like they look at you, and then to look at you like you're the bad guy. And I'm not very knowledgeable in the depths of it. That's about I just know the basis, basically what I just said. But I know it's true, man. And if you're at a certain level spiritually, and you've developed a relationship with God that has allowed you to truly love yourself, man, these people aren't going to be able to do things like that to you. They're going to try, and you're going to feel certain side effects, but they're not going to be able to completely steal you, dude. And through people treating you horribly, then yeah, you start to hate yourself, because you let their projection and I hate like playing victim or whatever, but like their abuse for real, you let that bring you down, man, and then you become bitter and you become angry because you come to a place where you hate yourself, dude. And then they're running around the person that you should be, when really that's not them at all. But the Lord will protect us from that, man. And the more and more we develop a relationship with Him, the more and more knowledge He's going to give us, so that we are aware of things like this. dude, I had no idea about anything like this at all. Like a year ago, no clue. And if you would have talked to me about it, I would have thought you were freaking crazy, man. Like, I had no idea, man. And that's why, like, I want to share my knowledge, because I had no clue. But now, when I put on the armor of God, and when I pray to Him and I seek His protection, I know specific things to pray for, man. And I'm not saying that out of, like, cockiness or holier than thou or anything, dude. I'm strictly saying it to share something that I had no idea about with others and how to protect themselves from that, dude. Because I didn't know that you could steal someone else's personality. I didn't know that you could literally steal someone else's spiritual gifts. I didn't know any of this, dude, but it's true. And I've come to learn it. And there are people out there that will go to serious lengths, dude, to destroy you so that they can have that energy of yours. But as we put on the armor of God, and we don't go throughout life thinking that, you know, we got this, we don't need God, we just, you know, we got it. He shields us from those kind of things, man. And He will give us a discernment on a level to where we can see exactly who's doing this to us when they're around. He'll even, to the point, dude, He'll let you know things that are going on in a way that you understand. He'll let you know people who you haven't talked to in forever, who are in the background completely assassinating your reputation. And the closer and closer we get to Him, then He'll start to even reveal memories that you forgot about of certain situations. And with this new knowledge and this new outlook in life, you look back to this memory or this situation that happened, and you see the people that the Lord is warning you about, who is ruining your character right now through smear campaigns and that kind of stuff. You look back to certain memories that the Lord brings back to your mind, and you're like, dude, the Lord is telling me something. This is the type of person that absolutely would do that. And there are so many people in this life, dude, that the majority of people are wearing a mask, man. And that's not a joke. That's not a lie. Like, I've heard people even talk about, like, content creators doing little things like, I'm not saying me personally, I've just heard people talk about it, like wearing like a certain hat, or like you going to, like, them trying to go and get something done and not being able to get it done, and then a certain content creator talking about doing that one thing that they couldn't do. You know what I mean? Just I'm trying to think of other examples he brought up. I could see it happening though. Dressing like you. Like, talking about the same exact topics you talked about on a video, but flipping it in their own way. And there are so many people like that in the real world, dude. So, like, I could see it happening even like a small content creator, dude, just for another way to sit there and poke at you and covertly harass you, man. These people are sick, dude. And like I've said before, a lot of these people literally are not human, whether you want to believe it or not. But even the ones that are human, a lot of them do not have souls, man. And I mean that. I mean that, dude. Their soul is gone. It's been traded off for wealth, popularity, success, making their YouTube channel grow. I don't know about that. I'm just saying, who knows, like, the reason. But they've given their soul up, dude. And they are completely there's nothing human about them besides their looks. And it's people like this who try and find real, genuine, empathic people to feed off of. And to slowly but surely destroy. I just wish more people knew things like this, like had this knowledge. But also, dude, like, you're not even gonna take this knowledge in unless, like, you're in a certain mindset, like you really have a thirst and hunger to better your life and be acceptable to learn things like this, you know? And something else I've learned, dude, through a highly intelligent woman I watch on here. I don't even want to mention her name, dude, because I feel like if you're targeted and you try and, like, give someone credit, these people are going to go mess with them, dude. But, like, things that I've learned from her, like, things, like, the more you move up spiritually, dude, you're going to see things in a completely different way. And you need to realize, like, if you trying to explain these things to people, they're not going to get it, and it's just going to make you frustrated. And a lot of times, like, since you're on a different level spiritually, like, you just being around someone will drive you nuts, like, it'll irritate you. But it's all part of God teaching us to get through it. For Him to be able to trust us with these spiritual gifts and elevate us on a spiritual level, and us still being able to have love and compassion for people who may not be in this truck all the time, man. Pulls out right, I'm going 70. Pulls out right in front of me from this street. Pulls out right in front of me, dude, all the time. It never stops. Never stops, man, ever. It's all day, every day. Like, I could let this destroy me, dude. I could let this destroy me. I could, very easily. Yeah, right, I'm not going to. Anyways, like, you could, it's, like I said, we could be at a spiritual level and being around someone who's just, like, numb, like, doesn't care about a relationship with God or anything like that. And, like, relationships, believe it or not, are spiritual, dude. So, like, our spirits aren't gonna relate. And when this is first, like, as we're first starting to improve spiritually, like, it can drive us nuts, man. To where, like, we don't want to be around them. Like, you know, you might just get, like, irritated with them for no reason at all. And I'm not saying this is me, dude. I'm just saying things I've learned that make 100% sense to me. But I've experienced things like this. I have. I'm not gonna lie. And it's there for God to be able to trust us and moving us up. It's there to train us and teach us so that we can still have love for people that are on a certain level. Still be able to communicate and try and teach someone who is on a certain level. And not look at them like they're beneath or in any negative way, dude. And it comes with time. Like, it, and the more God sees our growth through things like that, learning, and then, you know, when these frustrations start to come, like, us recognizing why it's happening and humbling ourselves to be able to relate with them, He's going to continue to expand us, dude. And this journey, like, growing spiritually, is the absolute hardest thing you will ever experience in your life. And I mean that. Because there are so many people who do not want it to happen. And they're going to try and bring it down. But the flip side is it is the most amazing experience you will ever experience, dude. You're going to see things that you didn't see before. You're going to be in another realm, man. And it's awesome, dude. You're gonna see things that, like, the old you would have freaking terrified. But through you knowing your authority in Jesus Christ, and like, because you're of God, there are rules and there are laws that cannot be broken. And the power of your authority that you can exercise, these things become kind of like, I don't want to say fascinating, because that's giving it glory in a way. They become interesting and not scary. Like, it's a whole different life, dude. And it's a fight that is extremely hard, but honestly, at times, like a lot of times, like, it's awesome. Like, it's kind of cool, man. It's neat. It's a neat experience, because you're in a war, man. You are in a war, and you realize what you're in that war with. And the higher you get up, the more powerful things from the other side are going to come at you. Like, if you're on a certain level, maybe nothing is going to come at you that you notice, that you know, and then you start to level up spiritually. Certain things of different higher powers are going to come after you as you level up, man. And that is a fact. There are two sides, dude. As Ephesians 6 says, man, we're not fighting against flesh and blood at all. Spirits, principalities, rulers of high places, demonic powers, man. That's what we're fighting, dude. And we can use an experience like this to continue to mold us into someone we had no idea we were even able to becoming, man. And I'm not saying this like out of pride. I'm not saying like I'm some great spiritual person, not even close, dude. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, dude, I can see like the growth in somebody, you know what I mean? And I have seen my spiritual growth. I have. I'll admit that. Like, that's not prideful. I'm thankful for it, dude. And I want other people to want to grow spiritually. You know, there's people that want to go to the gym and work on their body, but which, you know, I need to do that more. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. But don't want to work on their spiritual side at all. The spiritual side is what, both are important. Spiritual side is really important, man. It'll save your life, dude. Save your life. And so will physical. Like, we need to be healthy in all aspects. But the growth that comes through developing a true, heartfelt relationship with God and continuing to nourish that relationship, it takes work. It's difficult at times. It takes discipline. But the experience is priceless, dude. I wouldn't trade this for all the money in the world. I wouldn't. Like, dude, if you know, you know. Like, spiritual journey is an amazing thing, dude. And the more you grow spiritually, the more you love yourself, and the less people can push you around. Whether it's a spouse, people at work, whatever, man. And the more you'll be able to just let things go, dude. And you're still going to get irritated, highly irritated. But guess what? The more you grow, the less irritated you're even going to become. And I've noticed that a lot. It's a cool experience, dude. And I would challenge anyone to take this journey, man. Anyways, I got to get going here soon, so I'll leave it at that. But this was a different one. I didn't know exactly what I was going to talk about, but I'm glad I did, dude. And whoever, if this is meant to help anyone, man, it'll make it to those people. And the people that want to think it's crazy, whatever, you know what, man, I understand, because I would have thought it was crazy at one point too. Well, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one.